Hi, good morning. This is Amy Vedantham, and the devotional for today is about sharing without pretending. Now, I have two little girls, and they're right at the age where they're able to really play and interact. And one of them recently had a birthday in April, and we always have the same conversation with her every time of saying how her toys are hers, yes, but they're really ours, and that she needs to make sure that she's always sharing with her sister. And sometimes that's really easy for her. She's a really gracious kid, but at other times it's hard. And you can see where she knows she has to share, but it's not really a sharing of the heart, it's a sharing of the will. So she's going to share because mom and dad told her she had to. And it's just fascinating how that plays out and how that really alters the type and the way that the girls play together, whether it is a sharing with the heart or a sharing with the will. I want us to look a little bit at Acts 4 and Acts 5. And in Acts 4, verse 32, it says, "Now the full number of those who believed were of one heart and soul, and no one said that any of these things that belonged to him was his own, but they had everything in common." Here you see the church just sharing and giving from the heart. They were united and they were embracing one another, knowing that this was their true family. And they loved each other with the love that only Christ could give. But then a few verses later, in chapter 5, we see the story of Ananias and Sapphira. And when I heard this story growing up, it just always shocked me that they they just died immediately. It was crazy. It's one of those graphic stories from the book of Acts that just really kind of stick with you. And I think that's done for a reason and a purpose. So the story of Ananias and Sapphira, really quick. They sell a piece of their land, they work together, and they collaborate to create this story that they were going to share to Peter and the elders of the church. And they went to Peter and they said, "Here is the proceeds of our sale." And Peter then looks back, knowing their hearts and being empowered by the Holy Spirit, questions them immediately. He said, "Why are you lying?" And he says, "Why has Satan filled your heart to lie to the Holy Spirit and to keep back for yourself part of the proceeds of the land? While it remained unsold, did it not remain your own? And after it was sold, was it not at your disposal? Why is it that you have contrived this deed in your heart? You have not lied to man, but to God." And it's always just amazing that Peter, being empowered by the Holy Spirit, knew not just what Ananias and Sapphira were doing, but he knew the reason why. It was their heart. Their heart wasn't in the right place to give. There was no need for them to give. God doesn't need us to share and to give. What he wants us to do is when we share, to share out of love, not out of will. And I think that when we continue on in our lives and in our journey, and especially at this time when we're with family and friends, seeing a need and making sure that we are checking our hearts to know that we're doing it not because we want notoriety or because we want to feel important, but we're giving and we're sharing because that is what God is drawing us to do. By his great love, he has drawn us to give, and to give sacrificially, and to give with a cheerful heart. So that when we share, our resources, share our talents, it's not being done out of the will and our desire to be known, but it's out of love that we do it selflessly, we do it willingly, and we do it with the right heart.